Hello and welcome. In this video, we're gonna last video we did conditions, and I suggest you check it out first in the methods. Now we're gonna check loops. So loops. Let's do this. Java loops exercises or examples. Of course, let's check it out. What what Google shows if we do exercises first. Perhaps normally you could try exercises after you did the examples. So let's see. There you go. These are now what to do, but perhaps do that after this one. I could suggest that you could try it on your own. So let us search Java loops examples. So loops are, for me, it's like conditions. Loops also requires you to have logics in your code, and just like condition, it you, you automate things, you program things to do from how would from how many uh, loops you wanted to trigger, or you wanted to let the let the computer show, right? So without further ado, let's try to check the examples. Okay, so syntax wise, this is it. For there are actually two types of common loops that you can use in Java. First is the for, and the second one is the while. And yeah, there you go. As you can see, again, let's open it up first. Control E, and let's try to check this one, or open our good old Eclipse. There you go. So as I mentioned, there are two common types, and it actually does the same thing. Of course, there are just um, logics that you have to implement on for loop and the while loop. Let's just open up Java while loop example. Let's see. How about we do the W3 school? I think it's a good learning. There you go. While. There you go. Do while about there you go. Okay. I think we go to this website. So there are two loops. Yes. And the while loop, which is this one, the syntax is the word while, and the condition, as I mentioned, it's like if conditions and whatnot, but the condition is it tries to reiterate what you wanted to execute. So this is why, let's copy this one, right? And um before that, let's do another exercise and take a recap of the if else condition, right? So what we're going to do before going to the loops is that this is one of the best thing about methods. um let's refactor, we call it refactor, right? Since we already put all of these methods, I mean the codes inside the method, show block 1 and show block 2, it's already there, right? And we can actually just close it out, remove this one, and it doesn't matter because you can always try to call these methods. It's the same thing, right? And how about we also put this one into method? How about, let's say, uh, I'm trying to clean it up so we could show an example on the same code in the loops. You know, I also like to do this because at least there's this progression on how you code things. So public void uh, let's say I just want to get these things first, right? Public void prepare variables. There you go. And let's put this one, right? And we can code this one, right? And this one. And of course, you needed this variable. So it's the same thing as show block one. And you could just copy it up. And let's see what happens. There you go. Right? There you go. So right now, look at this one. Our main block is already very limited, right? Meaning it's really clean, and you know that you already coded this. It's, you know, it's working fine, and this, and as well as this one and this one, right? So, you know, you could always call that one again anytime soon. But of course, if you're not gonna use it, why bother? So let's try to use it, right? So let's try to call hello world. Let's instantiate hello world again. Hello world, right? And new hello world, and with the open close parenthesis. There you go. And hello world dot. How about prepare? There you go. Okay, so let's try this one first. Let's try this one if it works. And let's go and try to show this one here. How about that? There you go. We call this prepare variables and it works fine here, right? Right. Now we're going to do the loops, right? So we first copy this and let's highlight this and source format. There you go. It will just format itself. There you go. Let's just run it again. So let's a little bit try to check on this one, and then let's just try to run it first and let's see what it showed. Hope it is not saved. Okay, there you go. It writes the I here, which is this one, system.I, and I started as 0, and while I is less than 5, it will execute these codes, right? So first, for example, the first thing it goes here, it is equals to 0 first. So 0 is less than 5, it goes here. It writes 0, right? And I plus plus is something like, I plus plus is a shortcut for like I plus 1. It's the same thing. So you'll probably see a lot of programming codes like that one in a lot of different programming languages. It does it like that. Okay, so I plus 1, it goes now, it became 1, right? And it goes back into the while loop. This is how it loops work. It goes back. Is I which is equals to 1 now? Is I still less than 5? Of course. So System that print line, it writes 1 because it already added 1 here, right? And after it showed 1, it goes back again here, I plus plus, so it becomes 2. So I is less than 5, true, it writes 2, and so on until it reaches like, and when I became 5, so 5 is less than 5, no, it will no longer work. It will only execute this one as long as the I is less than 5, right? Then let's see how about for loop. It's yeah, while is with the condition, and then the same thing for, but the statements here, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, let's copy it one like this one, right? And highlight it again, and source format, and I is not allowing it because I is already instantiated here. So how about, let's say J, right? And let's just change it once, so J and J, and this one's J, right? And how about to how about show while loop, there you go, just to be able to check on this one, right? And before the for, we say show for loop, there you go. Okay, does it make sense? So let's run it again, and then let's try to digest for later on. There you go. So show while loop, it goes from 0 to 4, same thing as for loop, 0 to 4. And let's digest this one, right? So I while you have to instantiate or initialize I outside the while loop, right? But here in for loop, you initiate the j or the I uh, inside the condition for 4. It's the same thing, right? And j, you know what, let's do this like this one, and let's make this one I2, I2, just to show that it's the same, right? And I2, let's say this one, oops, control S. Okay, there you go. So yeah, again, let's try the zoom it here. Go to tools and zoom it. Can I create this shortcut? Let's create a shortcut here and put it here. Did it work? There you go. So anytime I need it, I'll just press this one. There you go. Should work. So control 2. Oh no, control 4. There you go. Control 2. So this one is the same as this one. Okay. And this condition in for loop is the same as this one in while loop. And the I1 plus plus is the same as this. So it actually does the same. I personally prefer for loop because I think it's for me it's cleaner because all your conditions here are already present here, because you need to create more lines in while loop. But again, there are same it does the same, it's actually do the same thing. There are no speed differences, I believe so. If there are, it should be really minimal. So yeah, I suggest you try it both. You do examples for while and for loop later on, and yeah, as we saw the exercises, you can try to do it yourself. But let's try to do it first here, right? Control 4. There you go. So it's the same thing, right? There you go. And again, uh, as the same as methods or if else condition, you can actually get or put if conditions inside, right? Let's say if I1 is equal to 2 or I1 is equal to 4, and then let's I think I forgot to do this. Oh my god, I forgot. Um, how about let's make this one both 10. So from norm, okay, I think it's normally in programming it always starts in 0. It always starts in 0. So 10 is normally 10 lines is normally we call it from 0 to 9. Okay, there you go. And how about the or I2 is equal to 8. So I would assume if the I1 is at some point is 2 or 4 or 8. This is OR, right? That's OR. And I forgot to do that in the if condition. Oops, I1 should be. But what we're going to do here in for loop is that we do the end. Because if I1 is equal to 2 or 4 or 8, so only I'll write this one here. If I1 is 2 or 4 or 8, it will just call the system. Yep, it will just call the and execute the the codes inside the if condition. And to 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 just check the or, there's actually end. So and but of course there are tab here. If I2 is greater than, now I2 is less than 6 and I2 is greater than 1. So here, so this is end. So it means it needs to satisfy both. There are two conditions here. This is first condition. This is the second condition, right? So is I2 greater than 6? I think I'm wrong here. I think this will not work. So sorry. Let's say this one, right? There you go. No, 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 no. This one, like this one. And yeah, that's right. So if I2 is less than 6 and I2 is greater than 1, so what are those numbers? Greater than 1 and less than 6. So those numbers are 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So it will only execute when I2 became at some point um, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, if I1 became 2 or 4 or 8, then it will execute there. Let's try it out to make it more viewable on this matter. There you go. So it had shown 2, 4, 8 in the while loop as expected, and here it only showed 2, 3, 4, 5 as expected as well. Right. So again, one of the most um, errors issues that programmers experience is they thought their condition is correct. They implemented the condition rightly, but yeah, it turned out it's not. So there is where the debugging part of programmer comes in. They have to check each line, each loop, and so on. And debugging is something like I can describe perhaps in the next. Not sure yet if it's still it's applicable immediately, but let's see, right? I mean, this is just my gut feeling on how to try to explain to to people who are starting to learn programming. So let's see. Okay, there you go. These are loops, and the let's go back to the browser. If you're going to go here, um, what did I search? That Java loop exercises, right? And it showed this one, which is the same as this. Just search Java loop exercises in Google and it will suggest this. And actually there are a lot. You can actually try anything here. And like this one, let's say show the answer. There you go. How about challenge yourself doing this on your own? And right, that there you go. Write a program to calculate the sum of first 10 natural numbers. Not sure what natural number is. Okay, what's natural number? Well, natural number. Example. Let's see this one. Numbers. Okay. Natural numbers is not negative and non-zero. Ah, okay. There you go. It will sum up the first 10. So it will sum from 1, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. There you go. Yeah. This is actually basically loops. And before you go dig deeper on really complicated one, you have to try exercises here. And I started doing that as well. Of course, as I've mentioned, there are a lot of suggestions for exercises which you need to do, right? And of course, you can actually, uh, something like if if is while, then you go this. For example, these are just something like that. And else if is for, then you can put it here. You can actually do like this, and boolean. Boolean is true or false. So if it's false, let's say this, oops, it's while false. And how about fits to the 4? Boolean is 4 is equals to true. There you go. So let's try this one. There you go. It showed only the for loop. How about if both is true? I'm not sure. I forgot what will happen here. Okay. So if this condition is satisfied, it will no longer to the next else if. So it checks first this one, and you can put this one into the method, and this one as well. There you go. Okay, do the loop exercises. Try to do that. Ken, I tried to explain you on how to implement this, but learning it, making yourself better at it is I'm actually trying to increase my percentage of the part that you're gonna check. But of course, I'm here to help, and you can reach me out anytime you like. So yeah, 80% you have to check on yourself for the exercises. Okay, that's it.